Hello again guys, welcome back. Just over here doing a bit of XP farming, gold and now zombie flesh farming because my trading hall's complete, so the zombie flesh will come in useful. Hang on guys, I've got to do something about this noise. Back in a sec. Hi again, just set it back to peaceful for a minute or two just to cut the piggy noise out. It's driving me nuts. I don't know if you actually heard my introduction, but I've been over here doing a bit of AFK, getting a few levels, and now I can use everything in the farm because I can also use the gold and the rotten zombie flesh. So that's quite good now because I've got my villager trading base, or trading station complete, and I'm quite pleased with it. Anyway, I'll pop downstairs, get a few bits, and then we'll go and I'll give you a bit of a tour around it. And let's change the view. There we go, you can see what I'm doing now. Perhaps, I'll just pop down here and see what I can find. A few XP's sitting around. I'm just too mean to leave them. I'll go in there and get it. Anyway, I've done quite a bit of AFK here to get my zombie flesh levels up, because ever since I completed the farm, I've been trading like as much as I can to get all my villagers up to their maximum trades, and I'm quite pleased with some of the ones I've got. When we get down there in a minute, I'll show you and you'll see it's looking, it's quite good. And I'm lucky that some of the rarer enchants on books that I still have trouble, well not trouble getting, but they take me a while to get, I've managed to get as trades through the villagers. I've got a trade, one of my villagers will trade for a looting 2 book, another will trade for an infinity enchanted book, and yet another will trade with a thorns enchanted book. All the enchants that I find quite difficult to come across, and they seem quite rare, they just sort of turned up there and then, so I'm really pleased about that. And I'll just put this stuff back in the sorting system. The swords will get thrown out into lava and destroyed. That's with the feathers, stuff that I don't really need or want. There you go, you can see that a couple of them there are waiting to drop into the lava. They'll probably despawn because they've missed the lava. But there's a dropper above, and that's where they come from. Right, so I haven't got that much gold. Probably lots of nuggets, but that'll do for now. Let's take some of this rotten flesh with us. There we go. Sorted. Time to head back to my base. Weak. Oops, missed pressing shift at the right time. There we go. Made it in. Oh, another chicken. Obviously a chicken jockey fell off there. Yeah, my inventory's full, not going to pick that up. I'm sure I can live without one golden nugget. I've been thinking I'm going to have to make myself a dropper down through. So I was watching a video by Snow Crash and Lapis Lazuli the other day, and they showed me a trick with a bed of how to make your holes in the roof of the nether bigger. I mean, obviously I'd have to go back to 1.81 or something like that, so that I could enlarge the holes and punch through the nether. But it certainly looked a good trick, and he was carving great big holes in the nether, enough to send sort of like a rail cart up through, with plenty of room around it. I'm thinking if I'm going to make a station in the nether, sort of like a minecart station to get around to different portals, it'd be so easy just to do it on top of the nether, or run the track on top of the nether and just pop down below the top for your portals, so you had consistency of coming back to the same portal every time. That's what I was thinking anyway. But that's a project for the future. I want to show you what I've finished now anyway. I'm really quite pleased with it. Oh, I'm getting excited now. Sprint down here so I can show you. There we are. There we are. As you can tell by the humming, this is the place, my new villager trading hall. And this fellow I've put in here just in case anything should come in here to harm my villagers. I don't think it will, because I mean the floor is carpeted, and yes there are a few spawnable blocks, but it's nicely well lit up. So I'm hoping that if anything does actually spawn in here, which nothing has yet, and this has been running probably 3 or 4 days, because when I haven't been in here trading, I've been AFKing and doing other things, so the actual game's been running that long, and nothing's spawned in here yet. or not that I've seen anyway. So, originally I thought I would get 30 villagers in here, but I didn't work it out very well because, in fact, I've only got 28. But that's plenty, and I've left some room up there to expand it. So if I want to, when I was designing it as part of this, I thought, well, if I want a second floor, I can have a second floor, and I will see it from down here. Hang on a sec, guys. I'm just going to turn that villager sounds down because that's starting to annoy me a bit now. Until it's Sunday night, I'm not the most tolerant today. Music and sounds. Turn the master volume right down. So we have less business done. Back again. There we are. They're not quite as intrusive now. Still hear them just. But I'm quite pleased with the way that villager purification setup that Data Design worked. It really was quite easy to use. And it just took me, I suppose, it took me 2 evenings. I mean, I was doing other things on my other PC and just had this running in the background, and every time something spawned I checked, and every time it was a villager I purified them, and I'll show you the process in a minute, and brought them up here, and it was really quite easy to do. Anyway, what I've done is, as I got them, I just filled the little trading cells up in order. And what I've done, I mean, I haven't used name tags on them, but I've labelled each one and given each one a name, and not for any special reason really. It's just that if I sort of run out of materials to trade halfway through a trading session with a certain villager, if I just remember the name, I can go straight back to him, rather than having to number them or just try to remember which cell I was using. I thought it'd be a lot easier just to name them, and I didn't bother with the name tags. I thought the sign would be plenty good enough for that. So we've got Denzel, the librarian, Paddy the farmer, Rex the armourer, Jeremy the librarian, Philip the cleric, and that's after our local vicar because he's called Philip, so I thought that'd be ideal. Jeff the cleric, Cody the cleric, because my son insisted on having one named after him, so that's what we did. And what I've done with the butchers, because I've got several butchers here, is I've named them after local butchers. I mean, we had Jenkins the butcher when I was a kid, Griggs the butcher, there's Peter the librarian, Laurel the librarian, Kitto was another butcher. In fact, we've got Kitto's butchers in the town now, so that's probably topical. Charlie cleric, Chris cleric, Roy leatherworker, Bernie armourer, Duncan cleric, Jan librarian, Ben cleric, Randolph the leatherworker, Mike the toolsmith, Cooksley's butchers, Carl the fletcher, Pierce's butchers, Timpson the leatherworker, after the shop of that repair your shoes, Nick the librarian, Clive the librarian, and Boris the cleric. So I've got them all named so I can track them down. I'm quite lucky. I think I've got all my librarians up to their final trade. In fact, I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah, that's the librarian with the Thorns book, which I thought was quite useful. And obviously the main name tag. Because Thorns is a brilliant thing. I mean, I somehow, when I was AFKing on my XP farm, a zombie pigman managed to get near me, and I was AFK, so I didn't know what was going on. And I came back and I found his flesh, golden nugget and sword beside me, and I'd taken no damage. So obviously the Thorns 2 enchant on my armour killed him. He attacked me, and the Thorns took him out. So that's the best reason for having it there, if no other. You know, keeps you safer when you're AFK. Yeah, so they've all got pretty good trades. The only villager type I haven't got, I believe, is a fisherman. But I'm not overly fussed with the trades with the fisherman. I mean, I'm not keen on the fishing side of things anyway. So it doesn't float my boat, to be honest. I mean, if I got one, I would have used him, but I quite like the farmer though, for the simple reason that sort of most of his trades, you know, the potatoes, the wheat, and the carrots, and pumpkins, and I think he trades melons as well. Melons. It's all stuff I can either farm on my micro farm or one of my other farms. So basically, I can get an infinite amount of carrots, potatoes, wheat, whatever, and all it's going to cost me is bone meal. which I've got bones coming out of my ears. I've got so many because I've had that skeleton XP farm running on and off before I built my gold XP farm. So I've probably got, I don't know, at a guess I would say 10 double chests of bones. So I've got more bone meal than I'll probably use in a long time. So I'm not too worried about that really. But I'm quite pleased, or I'm not pleased, it sounds arrogant, I'm not overly pleased, but I'm quite chuffed with the way this design turned out. I had in my mind that I wanted this to look a bit like the balconies on holiday flats, where you have a partition between the balconies so you can't really see each other and you've got a little bit of privacy through it. And that was just my idea with this. I just wanted it to look a bit like balconies in holiday apartments. And if I do extend it above, but I can't imagine I would ever need to, but if I do, I mean, the same would be mirrored above to a degree, and there's enough room to put them up above, so that may be an option in future. And it wouldn't be a big deal to take my minecart railway up a level to get them up there. It'd be quite easy. I used a load of redstone lamps in the ceiling, and I quite like that pattern. I'm quite a fan of like the nether brick and white carpet look, along with the polished diorite. I think it's quite smart, that. You can tell I'm getting wealthier in my world in Minecraft. I actually use all these redstone lamps. I wouldn't have dreamt of doing that a few months ago. But also, I suppose I can always extend this out if I need to. The only thing that has come to mind since I've been doing this is I've got several butchers, and their trades tend to be, or their first trades are raw chicken and raw pork. So I'm thinking about making a chicken farm and maybe a piggy farm just to get plenty of that. I haven't got either at the moment because I didn't really need it for food, but I'm thinking to trade up with my villagers. It might be a cheap source of emeralds that I can use for other things, obviously like name tags. And one of my I traded my armor right up so that I can, leather worker right up so that I can get a saddle anytime I need to. And obviously with the rotten flesh and the clerics, I mean, I can get as many glowstone as I need now. I haven't got to worry about the dangerous events in the nether above lava and stuff. I can just trade for my glowstone now, which is so much easier. And I must admit, I have traded an awful lot of rotten flesh with them. I suppose I ought to do a bit of trading when I'm here, to be honest. Are you ready to do some, dear boy? Give me some of your emeralds. But it's quite handy, because I've found that if I normally trade with 2 or 3 different things, they almost reset themselves, so I don't get locked out from the trades, which I thought was quite useful. Because before I did any sort of like volume of trading, I trade up and get locked out, and I didn't really know what to do about it. I thought, well, that's that. I can't trade with them anymore. But basically, if you trade for sell a load of stuff to them and then get locked out, if you buy some stuff from them with emeralds, they tend to reset themselves. Right, so that's the flesh locked out for a minute. We'll trade with some gold with this chap. Because of my gold farm, I mean, it's all pretty much free, really. I mean, I can have as much gold as I need, and as much rotten flesh as I need. So that's locked out. Now, that's probably not the best deal, but I can do that, and hopefully I will get the spirals, and there we are, and he's reset himself again. And I've noticed that seems to work on all of my villagers. It definitely works on, well, I use this chap quite a lot because he's got the best trade for glowstone. I mean, you don't get quite so much from him for the rotten flesh, but I mean, as I say, that costs nothing, and I've got so much of it. I don't really know, well, I do know what to do with it. I'll trade with it now, but in the past I've had to bypass the filter on the XP farm and just send it straight into the lava because I had nowhere to store it and way too much of it. But now the stockpiles are getting a bit lower. I had 2 silos full of it in my base, and that's all gone. I traded all of that. We're locked out on that one, so go on the gold. Locked out on the gold. Go up to the glowstone. See, we get 3 glowstone there for 1 emerald, which is a better deal. Locked out on that. Now, if we back away from you and go next door. Yep, see, we got the purple spiral, pink spiral, so he's ready to go again. we go. Don't think I've got enough gold to max you out. That's okay, we'll leave you. Come back to you later, dear boy. I like trading with this man because he's quite generous with his glowstone. Get rid of some of this zombie flesh. I'm sure this is not the most entertaining thing for you to watch, guys. But this is one of those things that when you start doing it, you just don't want to stop. Or perhaps that's just me obsessing. We'll just max this trades out, then I'll go away and leave him alone. Stop bothering him. Go back, get as much glowy stone as I can. There we go, that'll be okay. That's nearly a stack of glowstone just for there. Messing around for 2 minutes while I'm talking to you. So I mean, it's amazing how much I've got out of it. I'm not sure how effective these trapdoors are, about making the gap smaller so that a baby zombie cannot get through. I don't know. I mean, I've yet to see. I put them there initially because I quite like the look of it and I like the idea of it, but whether it's going to be effective or not, I don't know. But as I say, touching the wood of my desk as I speak, I haven't had anything spawn in here yet. So fingers crossed it'll stay that way. I mean, I've got a load of gash books that I had to... Well, there's looting too, but that's worth keeping. But I've got a load of gash books there that I've traded up through just to get the maximum trades on my library guys. I mean, and they were quite bad deals, some of them, but you got to do it, haven't you? You got to do it to unlock the final trade. So I mean, I can live with that. That's no big deal. I'll go and put them in. I mean, I've got. That's something I was going to say to you. I can't remember which librarian it is now. Well, one of them, I actually get a trade for efficiency 5 on a book. I wonder which one it is. I'd love to find it again. Is it this one? Not back to Bane of Arthropos. No, it's not you. Is it you, Laurel? Go on you, dear boy. Respiration. Aqua finish. No, it's not you. Go this way a little bit. Not Jenkins. Not Cody. Could it be you, Jeremy? Is it you? Let's scroll through, see what we can find. Power 1. Fire aspect 1, which isn't a bad enchant in itself. See, I'm not going to be able to find it now. I'm sure perhaps I had a particularly inventive dream. I'm sure I had an efficiency 5. Not efficiency 5. It's not you. Inspiration. Well, that's the thorns one. Yeah, we looked at that one earlier. But you, Nick, was it you? Inspiration. Protection. No, it wasn't you. Do you know what, guys? Next time I find it, I will quickly record it to prove to you that I didn't imagine it. I'm sure it's on one of these guys. What about you, Jan? Was it you? Punch was, that's a good one as well. Looting 2, that's the best one. So I've definitely got me looting 2 and thorns. I'm sure there's efficiency. Oh well, never mind. When I come across it, I will record it and I'll show it to you. Either that or perhaps it was a dream. So down in my silo, obviously my gold reserves have taken quite a hit. Not that they're hard to come by, but I've been trading an awful lot. And obviously I've traded quite a lot of gold as well as all the dead flesh. So I don't think... No, there's no gold at all in there at the moment. There must be about 20 or 30 stacks of gold blocks, so if I was desperate I could use that. But my glowstone's definitely gone up quite a lot. I'm not sure how much there is, because as I've said in other videos, it takes 21 full stacks before the first light comes on. But I don't think I'm far off getting the first light on, so I'm quite pleased about that. So I can use as much of that in my building now as I like. Now let's go into my vault and I'll show you my emerald stock. I'm sort of standing in the right place. But I'm clicking the wrong blunt pot. Over one, up. There we go, got him. There we are, into the vault. Whereas before I only had one emerald to my name, which was enough to put on the sign, and there was nothing in the chests. I've got nearly half a chest of emeralds now. I've even got a stack of emerald blocks. So things are on the up, guys. I'm quite chuffed for that. I mean, obviously their only real use is either building or trading with villagers, but it's nice to feel wealthy for once. So I was struggling for a long time with just the one. There we go, closed again. Only we know it's there, eh, guys? So, my villager trading hall, not trading hall, is complete. I've yet to finish the decor in the back here. I'm going to have to think of a theme for this hallway, but I don't know whether I am going to really, because I can't imagine that I'm coming down here a lot now that my villager trading place is full. Because I mean, the only reason I was coming up and down here really was to get villagers. But the actual design works really well now. I mean, I had a few teething troubles, and I had a bit of trouble with the zombies jumping. But with just being careful with my approach, it's totally efficient and works really well. I mean, I made a couple of mistakes and lost a couple, but I think I only lost 2 zombie villagers. I managed to convert all the rest as they came up. Now what I was doing, basically, is I would put the minecart right in there and go up here and do a bit of AFKing. Well, not real AFKing, I'll be doing something other on the other computer as the zombies were spawning. Now, if they were no good, we'd kill them. But if I had a zombie villager come in, I would quickly nip downstairs, get a minecart right at the back, make sure it was touching that wall, then press this button to drop them down, exactly like that, as the zombie appears on cue, but obviously it'd be a zombie villager. I haven't got any splash potions, not that I could use it on him anyway, but I would splash him, give him an apple, and let him vibrate for a while, and I'd just sit here and wait for it to happen. And just press this button, power the rails, the minecart will come out, scoop him up, and take him straight down to his cell in the trading hall. Worked brilliantly, worked really good. And with pushing the minecart right to the back, it worked just fine, because 9 times out of 10 the zombies, whether they imprinted on me, but as soon as I pressed the button to release them, to bring them down here, they would almost jump straight over the minecart and come straight up to the post. I mean, a couple of times they didn't, and I just had to sort it out another way, but it worked really well. I'm quite pleased with it. Another zombie up there? No, perhaps he's in this one. Yeah, he is. Look, there's 2 there now. Cool. But I found that having this extra step just made life easier, because on the odd occasion I was getting having a zombie jump up, resetting the cell, excuse me, and getting another zombie in the cell. In fact, for some reason it happens quite a lot in this end cell, and I'd be getting 4 or 5 zombies in the cell. It just made life awkward. So just pressing the keep button and sending them downstairs seemed to get around that problem. Or something dying somewhere. I can hear something dying. I think it was a baby zombie been filtered out and went in there. And I'm sure I heard another. Yeah, there's another one there. Goodbye. So, thumbs up to Data. Great design, works well for me. Very efficient, really. I mean, you just had to be a bit smart in the way you used it. I mean, what I was doing was clicking the button wherever, sending the minecart spinning with the villager in it, just jumping straight in this one and following them along. Worked great. The only thing I would say is I built 5 cells, and I don't think you really need 5 cells. I mean, Data built his with 4 to sort the zombies and catch them, but you could probably, if you were paying attention, you could quite easily manage with 3. And the only recommendation I would make about changing it would be to make the cells, I suppose, 1 block deeper, so they can't jump up and reset the cells themselves. And also, I'm sure you can make a more efficient way with a with the minecarts rather than having the 4 bays like I had, or 5 bays like I had. I'm sure you could get away with just running a mine track down through all the bays and just sending the minecart down through and position the cells off with glass or something. But you know, that's something that you could do if you really wanted to. I never bothered changing it. What I had worked, and that's all I wanted it to do, really. It did it very well. Now, I was going to tell you about something else, if I can remember it. See, my slime stock's coming up, because I've been down and around there a lot. Oh yeah, I was just going to show you how much this zombie flesh I actually got rid of. I had a whole silo full of it, literally a whole silo full of it, in this storage room. There we go, if I can get in here. Yeah, that whole silo was completely full of zombie flesh. Used all of that. Well, no I didn't, there's 35 left, but the rest of it's gone. I've got through quite a lot of my string as well, because I was trading that with the Fletcher for emeralds. Still got plenty of bones. And also, because that's my Mark II silo, up in my Mark I silo, in this room, this was completely full of rotten flesh as well. I'm not sure how many chests are on this. I think it's 4 or 5. Yeah, it's 4. 4 chests plus the hoppers. And in the other one there's 6 chests plus the hoppers. So, yeah, I did have 10 double chests of zombie flesh here, and there must have been and yes, there was, because there's 10 double chests at my XP farm, and that was full as well, because the flesh was overflowing and going straight to the disintegrator. So that's nearly 20 chests full. Heads up all the emeralds I've got, and quite a lot more glowstone. It's quite useful. Also, I put this to a lot of use as well. This is my potion brewing station that is homage to a Dateless design. Is a Minecraft Down Under. It's slightly different, but it's only because I changed it around a bit. The idea was completely his. I just changed it a little bit to suit my base. In fact, I've got some splash potions of weakness there. I'll put them up in the potion storage up here. But this thing's easy to use, as data showed us. I mean, start off, your nether wart comes out, goes down through the hopper line into the brewing stand. Then the fermented spider eye. Then the gunpowder, to make it a splash potion at the end. And if we go down here, you can see the nether wart's in there. If we look in the hopper, spider eye is waiting to go in, and the gunpowder straight after. Quite efficient little thing, really. And also, I mean, you could queue them up. You could press these buttons in order as many times as you liked, as long as you've got the bottles there to do it. Every time you took the old bottles out, another set would brew up. I think you can set it up so that it will empty itself as well, with a redstone timer and hopper and a locked hopper and everything. But I didn't really bother with that. I suppose if I was really bored one afternoon, I could do it just for the sheer hell of it. But I ain't really bothered. I see, and as I did so much digging out to make the spawner room, my cobblestone hopper is full yet again. What I'm going to do with all that, I don't know. I have to build another silo just to keep all the cobblestone in, I suppose. So there's nothing else to tell you, really. I haven't gone anywhere with my kitchen plans and my dining hall plans, but I've got plenty of cakes and things that I've traded with the farmer to put in there, so that's quite useful. And cookies and that sort of thing. So I'm going to give that some thought, how I design that. But I'm going to have to take the time and put some more bone meal up into my micro farm here, because I've been using that quite a lot, so I can trade with my farmer. It's amazing how much bone meal this gets through. Not that I've any shortage of the stuff. Yeah, well, I'll do that off camera. You don't need to see me do that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for having a look at my new villager trade and all. I'm just going to go back in there and have a look, because I've spent a lot of time in here the last few days, and I've even got used to all the humming. So let's do a selfie with my iron golem. Where's the right button? Oh, he's moved now. That's better. So guys, thanks for watching again. Cheers and gone.